Etheridge album, The Medicine Show, is out tomorrow. Chelsea Handler's book, Life Will Be the Death of Me, and You Too is out now. Behind the Bar, it's the Barbershop Quartet. Gimme 4. Hey, guys. Melissa, this is the album, by the way, you write a lot about addiction.
Yeah, well, I think it's a problem. I think it's a huge problem in our society now.
Yeah.
And I travel a lot around the nation, and I see a lot of what opioids have done, and sort of this idea that we have to get away from all pain. And I just think there needs to be a new thought about health in general.
And your book is more serious than maybe people might be expecting, given your other 6 best-selling comedy books. How did you make that turn, or why did you make that turn?
I had like an identity crisis, and I just thought, what am I really, like, what am I doing? Am I just like cashing checks and just coasting? Like, is that what I'm doing for being a loudmouth, basically, essentially just voicing my opinion and getting rewarded for it? After the election, it made me take a real look around, and I was like, oh, I want to do better. Like, I want to be better. So I had to go to a psychiatrist and readjust my thinking.
Was that your first time going?
It was my first real time.
Right.
I've been,
because you were committed to it.
Yeah, I was like, hey, I got some problems. This isn't working out for me. What's my problem? And he was like, well, this, and this, and this, and not in that order. But I was like, oh, I'm paying somebody to tell me the truth. This is a great exchange. Let's get down to business. And then when I went through it, I started to write it. And I was like, oh, if I'm going to make a living out of being a loudmouth, I may as well mouth loudly something of import, something that everybody can take away from instead of just expressing myself. And I think this book is the first time I felt like a real writer, so I'm proud.
Wow. Let's go to Amanda from San Diego. Hey, Amanda, what's your question?
Hey, Andy. My question is for Chelsea. Chelsea, you're just so hysterical, and I love you, and congratulations on your new book.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So my question for you is, what exactly about Robert Mueller do you find so attractive?
Don't even finish the question. I can already answer. His body. Listen, I grew up with a father who was a used car dealer, okay? So he's a shyster, and he didn't even sell cars. He just collected them. And so when I see a man who's like letter of the law, crosses his T's and dots his I's, and I can see a 6 to 8 pack swinging through his white undershirt while he's walking through the halls of the Department of Justice, I know that I want penetration. And I love that man. And that is not something that's debatable. It's just a fact, okay? I know he's married. I don't want to break his marriage up, but I need him to know there are feelings out there. And I speak for a large group of women in this country whose voices are going unheard.
Let's go to Audra from Florida. Hey, Audra, what's your question?
Hi, Andy. Hi, ladies. I had a question for Melissa. Melissa, were you surprised when you received so much criticism for revealing that you smoke marijuana with your adult children?
Oh, yeah. Well, one, because it was that clickbait stuff, you know? Because it says Melissa smokes with her children, and I have 12-year-olds, and I'm like, oh, my God, no, what does that say? But I was talking about my adult children already and how I just, I think it's just like someone, you come home, they come home from college and you have a glass of wine with them. So, yeah.
We're dealing with something that is legal now in many states and will be legal, hopefully, everywhere. It's just the conversation has completely changed. And by the way, I was talking to my parents last week. I mean, did you ever see ourselves living in a world where pot would be so decriminalized? You maybe did.
I did like 15 years ago when I went through chemotherapy and I smoked it and I was like, oh my God, this is making me feel better. This is making me feel good. This is medicine. That's when I said, that's when I could see and say, okay, in a few years we could really make this happen. And there was a large movement. And when you see, a child having a seizure and then, well, they don't smoke, but you give them a tincture or something and I'm like, woo. No, they give them a tincture and then the seizure stops. You cannot deny that. And so I'm glad it is.
Let's go to Lindsay from Charleston, South Carolina.
Hi, yes. I have a question for Chelsea.
Okay.
Is it sex related?
And my question, well, I maybe if you want to go there.
I do.
It's ready.
Actually, my question is, what do you think about Trump's decision to not attend this year? Because
The White House Correspondents' Dinner?
Yeah.
I think that's for the best.
Right.
Who gives a shit where he goes and where he doesn't? My lesson this year is not to let him rob me of another year of my life.
There you
That's
go.
good.
That's a good thing. Yeah.
Are you still really active on Twitter?
I'm active, but I've decided to look in and do things for I wanted to be in a state where I wasn't so reactive.
Yeah.
I wanted to be in charge of my own, and not go, whoa, and
Right.
hysterical. So I had to dial it down to do that.
It's hard. It makes you crazy.
But I feel great now. It doesn't matter what Trump does.
Yeah, that's huge for a lot
Let's
of
go
us.
to Michael from Ocean Grove, New Jersey. Hey, Michael, what's your question?
Hey, my question's for Melissa.
Okay.
When you agreed to guest star on Ellen's Coming Out episode, did you have any idea how monumental it would become?
None of us ever really knew how monumental our coming out would be. It was something we sort of just did. And I knew when she was doing it that it was fun and that it was, important. We never know how monumental anything's going to be.
Right,
It's
right.
yes, this is going to be monumental.
The things you think are going to be huge.
Yeah, not so much.
Last call of the night, Cameron from New York City. Hey, Cameron, what's your question?
Hey, my question's for Chelsea.
Okay.
Since you wrote in your new book that you used to sever friendships, which of the friendships that you ended did you regret the most?
Well, that's a great question. What I learned with this psychiatrist was, I was like, do I have to go back and revisit all of the people that I just decided to cut off because I didn't like the way they behaved, in a friendship way? And he was like, no, the important thing is for you to move forward and not do it again and not repeat the behavior. So it's not about being, AA and going and apologizing. It's like, do I really want those relationships back? So some people I did. Some people I went and said, hey, let's talk again. And some people it's just, that's better left and just leave it alone and don't repeat your mistakes moving forward.
And so you did go back to some people and say, I've taken a look at myself.
It wasn't as intentional as that, but
Right.
we reconnected and it was at the right time where I was open and I was like, hey, sorry if I just kind of cut you off. That kind of thing.
Right.
It was casual. It wasn't like, hey, I got to talk to you on the lawn outside of this rehab center. It wasn't like that.
Right.
But who knows where I'll end up? It's anybody's guess.
Right. Well, I want to thank Melissa and Chelsea. Hey, you guys want to take us out with some Tardy for the Party? Let's hear it.
Don't be tardy for the party. 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 Whoa.
Everybody give it up. Thanks for watching. Watch more clips here and subscribe to our channel here. See ya.